A planned meeting of Trans-Pacific Partnership countries was unexpectedly delayed Friday after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with his Japanese counterpart at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Vietnam. A spokesperson for the Prime Minister said there is simply no consensus between the 11 member countries at this time. We made progress, but, as we said coming in, there is no rush to conclude. There are outstanding issues for more than one country. One of those countries is Canada. We are working hard for Canadians and Canadian jobs in important industries such as automotive, agriculture, culture and intellectual property, the spokesperson said. National leaders were due to meet to hammer out the final details of a renegotiated trade pact, but plans were ditched at the last minute, a potentially ominous sign for the deal. Instead, Trudeau went ahead with a planned meeting with Sheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer of Facebook, who is also at the summit. Trudeau has signaled all week, during his travels in Asia, that Canada is not ready to put pen to paper on the agreement as there are still a number of lingering concerns. Trudeau met with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, a key proponent of TPP, for some 50 minutes on the sidelines of APEC, nearly double the planned time. The men stood side by side and smiled for the cameras, but they only clasped hands after someone in the room said, "Shake hands, please." Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland and International Trade Minister Franny Philippe Champagne were also in the room with the two leaders, signaling some last-minute wrangling on trade between the two countries. Officials from Japan had said late Thursday that countries had reached an agreement in principle, but Champagne pushed back in a statement to Canadian media saying a final agreement was not yet in reach. Japan is eager to pen a deal as it looks to check the hegemony of China in the Asia-Pacific region, especially as China's relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump improves after a successful state visit by the American leader to the communist country this week. Trudeau also met Friday with Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto, to discuss the progress of another trade deal, a renegotiated NAFTA, and to strategize about their positioning on TPP. While some observers thought TPP was left for dead after U.S. President Donald Trump pulled his country out of the agreement in January, the other 11 original signatories have pressed ahead with talks to secure a pact that would eliminate tariffs on industrial and farm products across a bloc whose trade totaled $356.3 billion last year. While some countries had been hopeful for a deal by the weekend, Canada has consistently sought to tamp down such optimism. The Prime Minister has publicly said Canada will not be rushed into any deal, and will not cave to pressure from other countries. New Zealand's newly elected Labour Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, said early Friday talks were now down to the wire, but there are still sticking points with some member countries. "I don't want to predict what way it will go.